one of the big ones that I'm really looking forward to this year is Mardi Gras. It's a little bit of a trip to the middle of the North Island to go party under a mountain, but I think it's going to be a pretty fun event, and it's going to be really good to test that whole being allowed back outdoors and things.
Hello and welcome. I'm Olivia Cross, joined by one of New Zealand's most popular DJs and also co-founder of the first ever New Zealand DJ school, DJ Shan. How are you doing?
Hey, how's it?
Good, good. What have you been up to recently? Have you been working on anything big and exciting?
Oh man, there's like a lot of projects and stuff. We're at that low end of the wave when it comes to all the mahi and everything like that. So like with all the new announcements and stuff of things that are going on around the city, it looks like things are slowly about to take off, like a little rocket ship, I reckon. So yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, working hard.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Now, you're pretty popular in the hip hop and DJ industry. What was it that first initially drew you to that?
Man, turntables.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a little kid, Mum had turntables. So, and my mum used to have a pretty good record collection and stuff like that. So yeah, and trying to emulate what was on TV and the videos and stuff. And yeah, sorry Mum, it wasn't me who broke all your records.
Sweet. So I know a lot of us have been missing out on all the live events and gigs that have been sadly cancelled because of COVID. Now that that's all starting back up again, is there anything exciting that we should be looking forward to?
There's a few things that are about to take off in Wellington City again. So I'm looking forward to getting a lot of events and stuff all named and having internationals come back to our city again. But one of the big ones that I'm really looking forward to this year is Mardi Gras. It's a little bit of a trip to the middle of the North Island to go party under a mountain, but I think it's going to be a pretty fun event, and it's going to be really good to test that whole being allowed back outdoors and things like that. So
yeah, definitely. It'll be great to get back into it. I was doing a little bit of research on you, and I saw that you've interviewed some pretty big names like Ty Dolla $ign. I saw Jeremiah as well. Who was your favourite person to interview?
Ooh. That's a great question. Actually, my favourite person that I've interviewed would have to be R&B Grammy Award winner Maya.
Yeah?
Yep.
And what's that? What's the reason for that?
Oh, she was just really, really cool, and it was really, really good to hear her life story on how she likes to give back to the community and set up different foundations and stuff for disadvantaged youth and kids and stuff like that. And yeah, that was really, really good to see. It was quite inspiring actually. So. Yeah,
that's really cool. Also in my research, I saw you've emceed some pretty big New Zealand festivals like Homegrown. I think I saw R&V in there as well. Tell me about that experience. What was that like?
Basically the whole MC side of things isn't like being a rapper sort of thing, but just having a personality, keeping the party going. Sometimes in regards to being an MC and stuff, I've been up on stage for like 20 minutes, no music, nothing, just standing there talking to the crowd. Yeah. Just like they're all my mates.
Yeah, well, it takes a pretty big personality to be able to do that, you know. A lot of energy goes into it.
Yeah, a lot of energy does go into it. Personally, I'm just really grateful that all of these event owners, promoters and stuff actually have the faith that I can hold it down for them and do a good job, because if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't be doing those sort of things. But it's a lot of hard work, and it's actually really physically tolling on the body, actually standing up there in front of all those people, trying to give a little piece of yourself and keep everyone entertained.
I can imagine.
It's hard work entertaining people without music and nothing but a microphone. So
definitely. Cool though. I'd love to know a little bit more about your DJ school that you set up. What was the inspiration for this, and what did the process kind of look like for setting up the school? Okay, so there's two DJ schools. There's the Whitireia Polytech School, but we're also sitting in our own private school. So this little space in here is the Aotearoa DJ Academy. So back in the day, probably about 2001,
I was in New York and I walked into a record store and there was this dude teaching this little kid how to scratch records, and I was like, man, that's what I want to do. When I go back to Wellington, I want to start a DJ school. So it happens that we managed to come across the right people in the education sector, linked up with Whitirea Polytech, and we ended up writing a curriculum, the first curriculum for tertiary study in the whole world pretty much, for certificate in DJing. So level 4 paper, 120 credits, something good for people if that's what they really want to do, is the DJ thing. But yeah, as I said, I've also got our own private school here now, the Aotearoa DJ Academy, and we teach everybody. Like basically, if you're not studying full time and you're working, you want to do this as a bit of fun, maybe take it a bit more seriously, we do that here. DJing, production. One of the biggest things I'm about, like especially with my students, is helping provide them a pathway so that they can learn and earn and make money themselves within this industry, because we all know that it's a pretty hard industry to get into. So yeah, just providing pathways and learning. I think the Māori word they call that one is mātauranga arataki or something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no, that sounds really cool.
But yeah, basically we've got a whole lot of DJs in this awesome little city of ours, from about this big to this big, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
pretty cool to get them involved in that kind of thing as well.
Yeah. Oh man, you should see the little kids, all the little kid DJs. Their parents are just so proud.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah, here at the Aotearoa DJ Academy, we have a lot of the parents bringing their kids in after schools, weekend lessons, like you name it, but they've also gone and played their own little school discos and played in shops. We've had them playing on the waterfront as part of the city council events, and yeah, it's really cool watching the parents being, oh, that's my son, that's my daughter. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I can imagine, that sounds great. Now, a little bit deeper, with all of the experience you have now, what is a piece of advice you'd give to a 20-something-year-old you?
Things don't happen overnight. Practice, a little bit more practice, and then when you think you've practiced enough, practice a little bit more, because practice makes perfect. Yeah, do something if you really want to, and you love it. Don't take no for an answer. If you ask someone if you can play an event, do something, give you a job. If they say no, ask them again, or go make your own opportunities, because there's more than enough opportunities out there around Wellington and stuff. So and in the outlying areas, there's so much going on. You just got to find what you're looking for.
All about perseverance and sticking to it, because
you'll
eventually get there if you keep going.
Eventually. Yeah. So yeah, practice and more practice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now,
craft those skills.
Yeah. Finally, what is your ideal Wellington day out? Your ideal Wellington experience?
Man, my ideal Wellington experience. A good day out with my wifey. First and foremost, and my little puppy dog. Yeah. A good day out with them, rolling around. We like going around the beach bays, around all the bays, from like Karaka Bay, Situn, all that, all the way around, past Halton Bay and all through Island Bay or Fiddle Bay, and then we go for drives. We'll go all the way out to Kapiti. Just a good drive in the car around the local areas. Stopping in at a few cafes, restaurants, things like that. I'm a big supporter of the community, so I like to get out and enjoy a lunch, enjoy a coffee, stuff like that. And
contribute to local businesses and the community in general.
Yeah, it's been a pretty hard slog over the last few years and stuff, so yeah. And then if we go into nighttime, usually one of my most frequent stops is I usually stop at Lulu Bay. Everyone sort of has these sort of favourite little spots that they go to, and yeah, that's sort of a spot that I call a second home whenever I do go out. Late night, after 10, I don't know, hit hit the Red Square, the Dirty Little Secrets, all of those places that are on the beat where people usually go out to. You know, Sports Caf, even like some of the waterfront places.
Yeah, there's some pretty nice ones around
some
there.
pretty cool spots. I'm a bit of a fan of Rosie's.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So many places. Event-wise, if there's any events on around the city, usually the Grand is where you're gonna find the
good ones.
Yeah,
for sure.
The Grand, that's like a really awesome mid-sized venue and stuff. I think that's pretty much the key to the city at the moment, is those smaller sort of intimate venues where you can fit like a couple hundred people, because with the new legislation coming in, that 200 level is actually quite good. It will do good for a lot of places and a lot of bars and venues and stuff like that. Just got to find 200 seats. I suppose everyone's going to have little light seats like these ones.
Yeah, little stools like what we're sitting on right now.
Everyone's sitting on the dance floor, dancing in their seats like that.
Trying their best.
So yeah, but I'm all about awesome days and nights out in Wellington. So those are just a few of the places I would go to.
Yeah, some pretty good classics in there.
Yeah, but honestly, there's so many nooks and crannies and awesome little venues and places you can go to around Wellington. Like, even just looking out the window, you can actually
already see a couple.
Yeah, you can already see a couple.
Quite a few actually.
Yeah, Wellington is just that place where you want to go exploring. I know a lot of people tend to stay on the courtly places and the Willis Streets and Cuba and stuff, but like you go down all the back streets and alleys and stuff, you just find some really, really cool things to do.
Yeah, there's cool stuff everywhere in Wellington. It's full of it.
Actually, I think a couple of weeks ago I went to that little place down the Rabbit Hole.
Oh yeah, where's that?
It's one of those little places off Leeds Street, around by the Robert Hanna buildings and stuff like that. I think it was called Down the Rabbit Hole. It felt like a rabbit hole. Yeah, that was a cool little spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, good recommendation.
Yeah, and then on that same block you got the Fortune Favours and you got all of those other little ones. Is it the Shepherds?
I think so. Yeah.
Like yeah. So many places. So many places.
Good thing about living in Wellington.
Oh yeah.
It's great.
Honestly, I think I've explored every single little square inch of the city over the years. So yeah, I like to say I'm a proud Wellie person.
Definitely. Sweet. Well, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for joining us and for chatting.
Sweet as. Sweet as.
Really
good
nice
to be
talking
here.
to you.
Wellington Live.
Yeah, definitely.
Love it.
This has been Olivia Cross for Wellington Live and Wellington in your pocket.